if I were to get cancer, what would that mean to me, for me and my family and the people I love, right? And then write it out. My kids being afraid of me dying. That'd be number one. Me dying, right? Me dying. That's number one, right? My kids, my kids seeing me sickly. So I was 167 pounds when I got cancer. Within 3 weeks, I was 127 pounds.
Shoot. Wow.
Chemo just sucked the life out of me. Not to mention, I'm bald. I look sickly. And I was like, and then the crazy thing was like, dude, if I die, because I was like that for about a year, I was like, this is my kids. They're going to remember me as this. I was like, that sucks, man. So I think you got to get really clear as to what the consequences are. Get really present to that. Sit with that. Meditate on that, right? Kind of like for me to cry, right? I had to really imagine my kids dying. I had to really get there and really go there and really sit with it and really meditate on it and feel what it would feel like if it was real, right? And that got me, I finally broke down. So that would be that's the honest answer. And dude, take 10 minutes, right? If you do the miracle morning, make it your scribing practice tomorrow, Yeah. But it's worth it, dude, because, and I don't know if the statistic is accurate. I actually believe this is more the pharmaceutical industry trying to program and seed by saying 1 out of 3, men will get cancer and 1 out of 2 women, or vice versa. I don't know. It's one of those is the statistics. It's, one of those two. I don't know if that's true or if that's how they make all their money, right? And by the way, the side effects of the chemo that I was on, this is probably true for almost all chemos. Literally, I was reading the side of the bag one day, and it's like, can cause leukemia.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, wait a minute. I have leukemia, and the medicine, air quotes, medicine you're giving me can cause leukemia, right? And that's why, by the way, people get repeat cancers or die from the drug. But anyway, so that would be it. Get really present to it, and then from there, do a little bit of research. I'm sure there are books on how to prevent cancer. That'd be an interesting piece. But for me, the way I live now is the way I should have lived then.
Yeah.
The way I lived then was the narrative, I'm healthier than most people, so that's good enough. Versus, what am I putting in my body that could cause cancer? And am I okay with the consequences that I wrote out? Right? I never did that exercise, or I would have made these changes ahead of time. Yeah. And I think you have to really take that seriously because, again, whether the pharmaceutical industry's predictions are right and it's 1 out of 3, it's still a lot. Almost everybody knows somebody that's been affected by cancer, right? Are you willing to take that risk? And if not for you, right, it's real easy to go, do you have a family? Do you have kids? Do you have parents? And how would they feel if you died? And are you willing to take that risk? And I think if we're honest with ourselves, it's a no. But we live in that we feel invincible until we're not. We feel invincible. Like, that's fine, right? And the other problem, I talk about this in Miracle Morning, is I call this isolating incidents. It's one of the main causes to me of mediocrity in our lives. Isolating incidents means that we look at everything as a one-off. I can drink this today. It's just one. I can eat this today. I can smoke this. I'll do it today, right? I could sleep in today. But it's never today. It's who you become. Every decision that you make, it's not about that one incident. It doesn't affect that one day. This is who you're becoming. Every time you hit the snooze button, you're becoming less disciplined to get out of bed in the morning. Every time you eat crappy food, you're becoming more conditioned and okay with eating crappy food. That's where really being thoughtful and impeccable with your decisions. And here's the beauty of it. When you live, when you eat healthy most of the time, have your cheat day, right? And it feels good when I eat unhealthy, and it's usually maybe one meal a week that I'll just be like, whatever, dude, right? Oh, I feel zero guilt because I'm like, it doesn't matter. I eat healthy 98% of the time, right?
Yeah, I love that. Last question on the cancer thing, and then we'll move on to kind of the wrapping up questions. But what did that do to your belief / faith, whatever, in a God or God? I don't know where you land on that, but what did that do to that in that period?
Yeah, so I have a very strong faith. I'm not so much religious. in that, and here's the distinction I would make. I was talking to a friend actually on the way here about this. That same friend I was telling that you're on a pedestal because you're God to me.
we're both pedestal huggers.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I wish we were on stools.
Yeah, that would be better. There's some over there if we want to stand on that later.
No, but I told him, I was talking to him about church and about religion, and I said, I'll give you an example. Like, I go to a Christian church, and I believe in Christianity, and I follow most of the principles, and right. But I also believe that I look at the whole picture, and here's what I mean. My father-in-law and his wife, they go to it's the Self-Realization Fellowship. I don't know if that's a chain and there's a bunch of them, or if it's just the one they go to in San Diego, but they follow teachings from Christianity, from Judaism, from Buddhism, and I don't know, a bunch more. And to me, I think there's something like 3,000 religions, and that's my thought is, to me, I don't see why it would make sense to ignore, to just go, I'm only going to learn one tradition. I'm only going to learn one set of beliefs. To me, I want to learn something from everybody, and to me, it's about your relationship with whatever you got, God, was God, right? And I call God, him, her, I don't know, right? Like I call that source, that universal source of energy and love, God. But I just had something important to say about it. Give me a second. To me, religion is man and it's human beings trying to make sense of it, of what that is. And to me, I'll even connect science and religion and go, that like quantum physics has proven that there is a universal field of energy that all things are born from and die into. Sounds a lot like God to me, right? So for me, and my real answer is I don't know. Like, I have a very strong conviction that there is a God, but I couldn't give you all the details. I couldn't tell you, no, this is exactly who he is and what he believes and what he says and what you can do and what you can't do. And this one religion is right and the other 2,999 are wrong. And if you don't believe in mine, you're going to hell. And like, and by the way, I respect everyone's beliefs. So in fact, I said this the other day. I was talking about, I think I was talking to my wife about it, about, religion. And I said, honestly, a question that I would ask around it is it useful, right? Meaning, if you believe in a specific religion and you don't condemn other people, I think that's an important piece of it. Like, for me, there's some it's a little hypocritical to go, God is love and loves all people, but if you disobey, then you burn in hell in eternity. It's like, well, if God is like the ultimate parent, I don't know what parent would be like, well, kid, you disobeyed me, so you're going to spend your eternity burning in hell. Like, right? So those are some things that I
yeah, that's a hard truth to accept. And as a Christian, as well, I look at that and I'm like, I see that in the Bible, like the idea, like Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, the life. Nobody comes to the Father but through me, right? So I was like, okay, Jesus is saying he's the way there. But I also see I'm a parent, and even if my kid was a jerk, I don't want my kid to punish forever, right? Yeah. So then I've reconciled that with C.S. Lewis has a great quote. He says, if hell is locked, it's locked from the inside, meaning that if there is a hell, like if hell exists the way that Christians believe it generally does, and it's an eternal punishment, it's because they're choosing forever to stay there and not go to heaven. And I reconcile it. Now somebody's probably calling me a hip, or whatever. What's it called? A blasphemer.
Blasphemous. Yeah.
But I reckon, like, I'm okay. I can be okay. I like that explanation, but I'm also, and I feel like you're here too. And I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm okay not knowing. I'm okay with going, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. I know that it kind of says this, and I know I believe in God. Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to be perfectly okay with that dissonance and say, it's okay because it's beyond me. I can't figure it out. But if God exists the way that I think he does, I think he can handle whatever that is later on. And so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to worry about the things that I can control. Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts? I'm actually really curious on you said something, God, I think God can handle it. So like being a jealous God. Yeah. Like to me, I heard somebody say once, like, I know humans that have gotten over their jealousy issues, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, so there's some specifics that I have trouble reconciling. Like that. That's
yeah.
one of them,
I mean, I'm no theologian anyway,
Yeah.
right? But when I look at the jealousy thing,
I believe you are a theologian.
Thank you.
That beard says otherwise.
Yes, I'm a desert father. No, I look at the jealousy thing as not so much like I don't like that you're looking at her, and I therefore am angry. It's an internal like, this is a deficiency in me, therefore I'm angry. I look at the God's jealousy more as him saying, look, like, this is the right way to do it. Like, that gives you cancer. This doesn't. What the hell are you doing over there? Like, that's this form of like, I'm not jealous as an internal thing. I'm jealous that you're giving your attention to that, and that is killing you, right? So the same way you might say, and again, I may be
if your kid were to do something, right?
I'm jealous that my kid is focused on their iPad all day instead of me. It's not a sinful,
I get what you're saying. I love that. You
I
are a freaking theologian, dude.
All right, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, and in things like that, there are a lot of things that don't make sense that to me in the Bible, right? I can justify, and I've heard a million things. There's things that just don't make sense, and I'm just like, I'm okay not knowing.